Attention all Walmart shoppers. Please subscribe to Horror Shorts Party. Thank you for shopping and have a wonderful day.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, I'm alright. These egg prices are killing me though.
Yeah, you and me both.
Stupid little thought. Hurry the hell up with your BBL plastic body so I can leave this crusty old place. Sheesh. I'm gonna shop at Costco next time.
Did you find everything okay?
Yeah, but... Oh, I almost forgot. I had this coupon for half off of the garbage bags.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Can't you just hurry it up? You've already bought out the whole store, now you're going to waste everyone's time with your stupid coupons? If you're broke, don't come here, lady!
Of course. I'll just scan that in. And that brings your new total to $34.54.
Alright. I think I can actually pay for that with cash.
No problem.
Really? Just pay with your card and move on, Miss Plastic Dump Truck!
Just don't say anything. Don't even look back at her. She's not your problem. Your change is $5.46. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice... Oh, come on.
Damn it. She was kind of cute. I hope she comes back.
Hello? Anyone in there?
Oh, sorry about the wait, ma'am.
Yeah, you are sorry. A sorry excuse for a cashier. Don't make me sit here forever.
Wow, she's uglier than I thought. Smelly, too. How does a person let themselves go that far?
What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing.
Don't play stupid with me, Mr. Playboy. Why don't you keep your eyes on my groceries and not on my supple beanbags, all right?
Yes, of course, ma'am.
Hey, slow it down! You're not getting paid to mishandle my groceries and charge me twice for an item. I want to speak to your manager if you screw up again. Got it?
Ma'am, please let go of my hand.
You know what, Aaron? You better be glad I don't have you by the balls for the way you've been treating me.
I'm sorry my service has not met your expectations, but please, just let go of me.
Why should I? Why don't I just ignore you like you ignored me earlier, huh? I'm sure you wouldn't like to be disrespected like that.
Ow, stop it! You're gonna break my wrist!
Don't you dare raise your voice at me!
Jesus Christ, let me go!
Don't touch me!
Leave me alone or I'm calling the cops! Help! Someone help me!
I will be respected, and no one is going to get in my way!
But that's impossible because you're in everyone else's way, lady!
What did you just say?
Get away from him, ma'am.
Get away from me, pig! Don't touch me!
What in the world is going on? Get on your knees! Get on the ground and put your hands behind your back!
Shut up! You're all gonna learn to respect me when I come into this place!
This is your last warning! Get down on your knees and put your hands behind your back, lady!
I will not get on my knees for you! You're not my husband!
Get down on the ground now!
I demand to be treated with...
Oh my god, are you okay?
Oh, it's you. Yeah, I'm alright. I know this is a bad time to ask, but do you want to go out sometime?
Sorry, I have a boyfriend.
No! This story was inspired by a case that happened in a Dallas, Texas Walmart. An unidentified woman was allegedly acting like a Karen and causing a ruckus. When police arrived, the woman demanded a cop to respect her as she stood inside the store. Things turned left really quickly, resulting in the woman being tased and subdued by police. She was then apprehended and taken into custody.
Good day, all passengers boarding. Please please ensure that all carry-on bags are safely stowed underneath the seat or in the overhead compartments. If you need assistance stowing your carry-on, please ask a flight attendant for help. And please do not forget to subscribe to Horror Shorts Party. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
Can you please just put it under your seat? You're holding everyone up.
Sorry about that. I just need a second. I don't think it'll fit under the seat.
Well, then maybe you should have put it in checked baggage instead of being cheap.
There we go. Money saved.
Stupid bag! Why can't you fit inside this stupid little slot? I didn't pack that much bikini bathing suits. Darn it! It must be all the lotion and toys I got from Naughty and Not. Excuse me, flight attendant! I need help fitting my bag in here because someone is taking up all the room!
We can just put it over here in the next one if that's alright, ma'am.
Fine, I guess I'll just work around Mr. Beats by Dre over here.
Thank you for cooperating.
Get out of my way, Blondie! Don't patronize me! Just let me get to my seat! Excuse me, coming through! Make some room, Mr. Beats by Dre!
Whoops. Sorry. Go ahead.
Your body is as piggish as your attitude. Why do I always get seated next to the worst people?
I'm just gonna ignore that.
Attention passengers, we will be taking off shortly. Please ensure that all bags are properly stowed and all electronics have been switched to airplane mode. Please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a smooth flight.
Thank heaven for noise-canceling headphones. Otherwise, I would have to knock those nasty dentures out of her mouth to get her to shut up. Man, 50% battery already?
Hello, would you like any refreshments, sir?
Yeah, could I have some coffee?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
And for you, ma'am?
Do you have any good wines, or do you just have the cheap stuff?
Well, we have some Pinot Grigio, Pinot Noir, Merlot.
So, just the cheap stuff? Whatever. Give me a Pinot Grigio.
Absolutely.
Careful, Blondie, don't spill it! Jesus, I've never experienced so much turbulence on a flight in my life!
Don't worry, I've got steady hands.
Probably because you're a stupid little thought that works at OnlyFans.
Excuse me?
Hurry up and give me my damn wine, pube liquor!
Alright, here you go, ma'am.
Oh, disgusting!
I'm sorry, would you like to try another?
Hell no! Get the hell out of here with your Dollar Tree wine, lady!
Sure thing.
I've never tasted anything so putrid.
I don't know. The coffee's alright.
Yeah, right. It just looks watered down.
I guess I'm cheap.
I'm sure you are, Piggy.
What did you just call me?
You heard what I said, Peppa Pig! Now put those Beats by Dre back on your little cranium before I really give you the beats!
What the hell?
What's going on? Don't you know how to fly a plane? I'm fearing for my life here! Someone give me a tutorial on how to wear this mask!
Everyone, please remain calm and put on your oxygen masks. Please remain in your seats.
I can't see anything!
Oh god, I gotta say goodbye. I'm recording this for my family. I don't know if I'll ever see you again. So I just want you to all know that I love you. And to Sarah, I hope you already know that you are the best thing that ever—
Get out of my way!
Hey, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Get back in your seat!
Shut up, you little pig! Get off your smelly tail and do something useful with it! Block that hole with your body! Come on, get up!
Hey, get off me! I'm a seatbelt or you're gonna—
Help me!
Oh god, what is happening?
I'm reporting this to your manager!
Everyone, please remain calm.
Sarah, I didn't get to finish what I was saying. I hope you didn't see that. I was just trying to tell you that you were the best thing that ever happened.
Everybody brace yourselves!
Oh, thank God.
Attention everyone, we have safely landed on the ground. Please continue to remain calm and find an orderly way to the nearest exit.
I think I know who those belong to. Somebody's got to hold on to the only thing left of her. This story was inspired by an incident that happened on a Southwest Airlines jet. A malfunction occurred on the plane where the engine got blown out, causing the plane to hurtle out of control. One of the passengers shown on the photograph below had enough composure to film a video saying goodbye to his loved ones. At the end, everyone miraculously survived. It was rumored that one of the passengers nearly got sucked out of a broken window, thus birthing this animated short.
I used to work at this Taco Bell, which has to be a contender for the most disgusting fast food restaurant in the country. Half the food we serve people is on the verge of rotting. The bathrooms are absolutely atrocious because barely anyone ever cleans them, and 90% of our customers come down with explosive diarrhea. There are even rats in the kitchen crawling around in broad daylight. That's not even mentioning the people who work there. The majority of the employees didn't seem to care about doing their job properly. Everything is filthy, and our food is sloppy and prepared incorrectly more often than not. And most of my coworkers would rather hide in the back than work. The Taco Bell should have been shut down for health code violations 20 inspections ago. And the people who live in this town have no good reason to keep coming here when there's a perfectly okay McDonald's just down the road. The only explanation I can think of that anyone still comes here is that they've been banned from every other fast food joint for being insufferable dirtbags. After everything I've said about this place, it may seem like nobody should be forced to eat here, but these people deserve it. Never in my life have I experienced people act so rude and inconsiderate to each other. There was this one guy who definitely takes the cake in that regard. I don't want to say his name, but I'll just call him George. George is one of our regulars. He comes in at least 3 times a week, and every time I see him, I know there's going to be trouble. He's extremely argumentative and demanding, sometimes to the point of physical violence, but for some reason, the manager refuses to ban him, probably because we need his money. George's usual complaints are that the employees are disrespecting him and making his food wrong, and that the whole place is a dump. To be honest, I can see where he's coming from. I agree that most of the food is garbage and so is the customer service. He's totally right that our restaurant is literally a threat to human health, but there's no point in saying that to him. It seems he'll never stop coming here despite it, and the employees are never going to change their ways. Some of my favorite George moments include the time he claimed there was too much sauce on his burrito, only for him to pull out a tortilla that was literally half filled with mayonnaise, and the time he claimed we had given him rat meat on his taco as he pulled an entire ball of tangled up rat hair out of the shell. Nobody likes George, but there's one guy who works here who has serious beef with him. I'll just call him Alex. Alex likes to intentionally instigate fights with George. Whoever is dealing with the brunt of George's anger, which is often me, can count on being saved by Alex stepping in and making things a million times worse. If Alex knows the order is for George, he will intentionally screw it up just to make George pissed. It was entertaining at first, and my coworkers still get a kick out of it, but I'm starting to get scared of their interactions now. I've been worried for a while that one day, one of their fights will escalate into one of them killing each other. Even worse, maybe George will come in and kill us all. And last week, my worst fear was realized. George came in while I was working the register and Alex was in the kitchen making orders. I tried to be nice to George, but with Alex behind the counter, it was useless. As soon as I felt how light the bag was, I knew it was going to be wrong. Sure enough, George checked his order at the register and threw a fit.
Is this some kind of joke? I asked for 3 burritos, not 3 tacos full of rotten lettuce. You idiots keep serving me dog food.
Ugh! Don't throw food in my face!
I'm sure you're used to getting meat in your face. Now remake my food and give me a refund.
Excuse me, is there a problem here?
Yeah, this bitch won't give me a refund.
My apologies, sir. You ordered 3 burritos, right? We'll give you 4 on the house and we'll give you a refund. I was completely taken aback by the way Alex handled the situation. Normally I would have to walk away or get caught in the crossfire of a violent pissing contest, but that day was quite the opposite. Alex managed to defuse the whole thing in seconds. I was relieved, but also very confused. After I gave George his refund, I stepped into the kitchen to ask Alex what had just happened. I couldn't get the answer I wanted out of Alex, but by the time George's food came out, everything seemed alright. George was pleased with the burritos and decided to eat inside. He must have been hungry because he devoured all 4 pretty quickly. Then, he sat at the table on his phone for a while, digesting. Then, he suddenly fell out of his chair and started vomiting everywhere. It just kept coming out, more and more until he was covered in it. And then he started seizing. He was convulsing in a pool of his own puke while he continued to purge everything in his stomach. When he finally stopped vomiting, he appeared to be frozen in a convulsion until the ambulance came to take him away. It was later reported that he had a nearly lethal amount of rat poison in his system from the burritos he ate. Naturally, the restaurant was shut down, and now I'm out of a job as Taco Bell scrambles to cover this whole thing up. I know what happened though, and I know who did it. I have no interest in snitching. George deserved it. The story was inspired by a disturbing incident regarding a Colorado man who claimed Taco Bell workers poisoned his food. Allegedly, there was a report of a disturbance in the drive-thru of a Taco Bell in Aurora, Colorado around 1 p.m. Sunday. A male customer allegedly got into an argument with a Taco Bell employee because the restaurant's soda machine wasn't working. Restaurant manager said the man is a regular customer with a history of causing problems, including allegedly throwing a taco at an employee in the past. The manager also said he wanted something free and was given a 4th burrito at no cost with his order of 3 bean burritos after complaining. Police say the unidentified man ate the food later Sunday night around 7 p.m. and soon became violently ill. He called 911 and was taken to a hospital. The hospital confirmed there was indeed rat poison in the burrito. The case is categorized as criminal attempt homicide. The restaurant was closed for investigation Sunday night, and surveillance video was turned over to the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. There have been reports that the restaurant has since reopened after inspection and are still cooperating with the investigation.
I've been working at Walmart for over 30 years. In that time, I've done just about everything, from stocking shelves, working the cash register, to even being a manager for about 8 years. However, as I've gotten older, I had to retire from that position because I can't keep up with all the responsibilities. These days, I'm doing something very different, attending the self-checkout area. When I started working at Walmart, self-checkout wasn't even being thought of. I'm there to assist customers who have issues with the machines and scan IDs for certain purchases. But most of the time, I'm just standing there doing nothing. Another thing I dislike about the introduction of self-checkout is the new vulnerability to shoplifting. That's the other major part of my job, making sure people actually scan in everything they are taking with them. That was never an issue before when an employee was doing the scanning, but now I have to be the watchdog over the customers. There are a lot of people that I have to deal with, from rude, incorrigible customers to volatile creeps and weirdos under the influence of everything under the sun. Yet, there are also just the desperate people down on their luck. Things get even worse during the holidays, and nothing compares to the madness of Black Friday. There are so many people in the store that it's incredibly difficult to keep track of everything. And I know more shoplifting than usual gets past me on that day of the year. The lines are incredibly long, so when people finally get up to the self-checkout machines, they often scan stuff in faster than an actual employee. However, this last Black Friday, I encountered the worst kind of person. It was a lone large woman who had her cart overflowing with items. She made sure to acknowledge me and smile when she approached the machine she was using, but it did the opposite of putting me at ease. Her smile was very suspicious, and the condition of her hair, face, and clothes indicated to me that she was in a desperate situation. So I kept my eye out for her. Of course, I tried my best to not let on that I was watching her, so I pretended to ignore her. Unfortunately, she kept putting up more red flags. She repeatedly looked over her shoulder and made weird faces at me, as if she was checking to make sure I wasn't looking. That, and she was scanning things in at a snail's pace, visibly irritating the other customers in line. It was like she was stalling and waiting for me to lose focus. For the moment, I gave her the benefit of the doubt, so as is my responsibility when customers are having trouble, I went up and offered her assistance.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like any help?
Back off! Did you forget this was self-checkout, you wrinkly old shit?
No, ma'am, but you don't have to be rude.
Piss off!
I let her be, rather than continue to enrage her. With her outburst, it was evident she was a Karen. After that, I made it obvious that I was watching her. She must have thought I was blind or stupid or something, because she clearly only scanned 20 or 30 items out of the 100 that were in her cart. She paid and started to leave, but I got in front of her cart and stopped her.
Ma'am, would you please show me your receipt?
Why?
Well, I need to make sure you paid for everything in your cart. Just show me your receipt and then you can be on your way.
You think I'm stealing? Do I look like a criminal to you? I can't believe this! Let me go!
Ma'am, stop! You can't leave!
Get out of my way!
Suddenly, the woman rammed into me with her cart. I stumbled back and grabbed onto it, pushing her back as hard as I could. I heard people laughing at us instead of helping, as the woman bared her teeth and looked at me like she wanted to kill me. For just a moment, my footing slipped and I fell backwards. Then, the woman ran me over with her cart and trampled me. I couldn't get up from the pain, and I was unable to stop her, so I screamed for help. The security officers came just in time and prevented her from leaving the store. Several minutes later, I managed to get back on my feet as the cops arrived and arrested her. The scene of her screaming was still going on at that point, and it didn't stop until she was stuffed into the back of a cop car. She kept wailing and claiming that she had just been evicted and was starving and trying to feed her family, but I honestly didn't believe a word of it. That woman was the most greedy, gluttonous, nasty smear of shit I have ever met. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly what happened to her after that, but given that she was attempting to steal over $500 worth of merchandise, I imagine she spent some time in jail. If she really had just gotten evicted, a jail cell is the 4 walls and a roof over her head she deserved from assaulting me. I'm very anxious about confronting anyone at the self-checkout area now, especially on Black Friday. This story was inspired by a creepy Black Friday incident regarding a Fruitland Park woman who was arrested at Walmart after the theft of $355 in merchandise. Bevel Zeline Hinton, 45 years old, went to the store on Black Friday and loaded $425 worth of merchandise in her shopping cart. She proceeded to the self-checkout lane and scanned $75 worth of merchandise. She paid for that merchandise and proceeded to roll the cart to the exit without paying for the other items, which were mostly food and household products. She was stopped by store personnel and taken into custody by a deputy. Hinton told the deputy she had recently been evicted from her home and moved in with a roommate. She said she doesn't have any money. Hinton was arrested on a charge of theft and booked at the Marion County Jail. She was released on her own recognizance.
This happened a few years ago when I went to Walmart for Black Friday shopping. I thought it would be a good idea to bring my wife and kids along so they could pick out what they wanted, but it just made the whole grueling process more complicated. The store was full as hell. There were shit tons of people, wall to wall. If it had been just myself and a shopping cart, I could have made my way through the crowd much easier, but instead I had my wife and 2 kids who kept wandering off to look at different things, forcing me to chase them down every 5 minutes. I couldn't risk them having any interactions with the insane people that were there, fighting over stuff and shouting over who deserved what. Then, because the lines for checkout were so horrendously long, it took us nearly an hour to get to a register, and then another 30 minutes just to get through the parking lot and on the road. We got home at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and by then I was exhausted. Of course, that's when I got a call from work saying I needed to come in for the night shift, despite the fact that I had requested the whole weekend off. I apparently had to fill in for somebody who had gotten sick. I was annoyed as hell, but there was nothing I could do to get out of it. On my way there, I passed by the same Walmart from earlier that day, and I had to stop at the red light at the entrance to its parking lot. It was totally empty now, and all the lights were off. However, I saw just one person in the area. It was a lone woman at the corner by the entrance. She was old and wore a very revealing dress that someone her age shouldn't be wearing. I also remember seeing her twitching and sniffing the air in a suspicious crackhead manner, and when I made eye contact with her, she started waving at me, telling me to come over to her. Just then, the light turned green. I contemplated leaving her alone, but I had a nagging feeling I should approach her. I was pretty sure I knew where this was going, but maybe there was an off chance that she just needed some help. Hoping for the best and preparing for the worst, I took a left turn and drove over to her. As soon as I stopped and started rolling down the window, she was leaning in and talking to me.
You want my Black Friday deal, Johnny boy?
Excuse me?
I've got a huge Black Friday sale. My clothes are 100% off in the back seat. That sound good to you?
I'm kinda married.
Oh, you think I'm going to track down your wife and snitch? Half of my clientele is married. Your missus doesn't need to know about me.
I don't know. It just feels like this is a bad idea. You're not even really my type. No offense.
None taken, doll. I know I ain't as pretty as I used to be, but it's what's on the inside that counts. Why don't you just close your eyes and let me work my magic? I think you'll be surprised by what I'm capable of.
I mean, when you put it like that, it does kind of sound good. How much would it, cost?
$50, all inclusive.
Well, this is my first time doing this. Is that a good deal?
It's a Black Friday sale. I ain't normally so cheap.
Alright, I guess. Hop in. Do you know someplace a little bit more private?
I know just the place.
She eventually had me drive into a dead-end alley. That's when I put my hand over her wrist and made my move. You're an undercover police officer. You're under arrest for soliciting yourself. You have the right to remain silent.
Not an undie! Let me go! I'm going to kill you! Help me! He's a pig!
After a few minutes of struggling to restrain the woman, I managed to get her in handcuffs and transferred her to the back of the car. But she kicked and screamed the whole time and even spat on me. Before I left the scene, I called in some backup. The woman never admitted to her so-called Black Friday sale that she was offering me. Either way, she knew she screwed up and was going to jail. Trying to solicit me, an undercover cop? That's the worst possible thing she could have done while street walking. However, I sometimes wish I had just driven on by instead of picking her up. I was able to make an arrest that probably saved a bunch of lowlives willing to spend $50 for some Black Friday deals. Impromptu stings like that are very dangerous, much more so than coordinated sting operations. Every night during Black Friday, I think back to that night and wonder how close I came to biting it. This story was inspired by a bizarre Black Friday incident regarding undercover detectives with the Baton Rouge Police Department who used Black Friday to conduct a street-level sting operation and ended the day with at least one arrest. Undercover officers report that while posing as a quote-unquote Johns within the 2200 block of Scenic Highway, they spotted a woman named Tammy Lynn Shepard walking along the highway and called her over. Once Shepard was at their unmarked police vehicle, detectives say she offered her services in exchange for money. As a result, Shepard was arrested and booked into East Baton Rouge Parish Prison.
What toppings would you like?
Let me get some lettuce and some tomatoes with salt and pepper on them.
Gotcha. Hello, sir. I'll be right with you.
Hurry up! I'm not gonna wait all day!
I'm almost done with his sandwich, sir. It'll just be a minute.
Then do it faster! I want it now!
Sir, I said it'll be...
Hurry up! I want a footlong in my mouth in 5 minutes or else!
Okay, fine! You said tomatoes with salt and pepper, right?
Yeah.
Emotional damage! I don't want your stupid tomatoes! I'm hungry! I want real food!
Well, the tomatoes aren't for you. They're for him! Okay, never mind.
He's gone now! Serve me!
1 second, sir.
What are you doing? The food is over here!
I have to put on a new set of gloves between orders. It's store policy.
I don't care about stupid germs! I'm used to going down on hoes! Just get over here already! Before I jump over the counter and rip you in half!
I'm here. What do you want?
Ham and cheese footlong! With lots of ham and cheese!
What kind of bread?
White bread!
Okay. What kind of cheese, sir?
Provolone!
Okay.
If you ask me one more stupid question, I swear to God I will rip your heart out of your chest with my bare hands!
All right.
Can't you go any faster?
I'm trying!
Try harder! I'm starving! Now I know why I had to wait forever for you to take my order!
I'm going as fast as I can!
Then you suck at your job!
Ah!
Hurry the hell up before I eat you, dipshit!
That's not the first time I've heard that before!
What are you waiting for?
Do you want it toast?
No!
Ah!
I said no more stupid questions!
I'm sorry! I just have to ask!
I don't care! Get a move on!
Okay. What toppings would you like?
Did I say I wanted my ham and cheese with rabbit food? No, I didn't! No toppings!
Okay, that's great. Condiments?
Mayo!
Can you repeat that?
The shit your husband squirts in your face at night! I want mayo!
Ah! All right! I'm so sorry! I'll make you another one for free! Please stop! Don't hurt me!
You won't feel a thing! I'll rip your head clean off!
Please describe the nature of your emergency.
Some psycho is trying to kill me! I'm trapped in the bathroom!
Where are you, ma'am?
The subway on 2nd and Pine! Please hurry. He's in here with me.
Stay calm, ma'am. Help is on the way.
By the time they get here, you'll already be in 6 different pieces.
Ah! No! Please don't!
This story was inspired by a case regarding a man named Melvin Williams, who was accused of taking out a 26-year-old woman and injuring her coworker over an alleged argument about condiments on his Subway sandwich. It was alleged that the dispute was about quote-unquote too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. Williams decided to escalate the situation from there, and that's when all hell broke loose. The case, of course, went viral because of how minuscule and stupid the dispute was. The suspect was eventually taken into custody and sentenced accordingly.
This happened back when I used to work the night shift at Wendy's. My days started out fairly busy, but always slows down after some time. By midnight, when we close the restaurant and switch to drive-thru only, it's usually pretty dead. I would usually use the last couple of hours of the shift to clean up before closing, but I often finished everything I needed to do pretty quickly, so I slacked off on my phone a lot. My co-workers are all the same way, so nobody gets in trouble. Nothing interesting ever happens late at night, so it gets really boring. It was business as usual. It had been 10 minutes since anyone ordered food. That is until someone finally came up to the drive-thru.
Hey, are you by yourself?
Their voice sounded weird over the intercom. It was definitely a man, but there was something up with him. Instead of ordering right away, he asked if anyone inside was celebrating a birthday. I didn't answer his question and asked him again what he wanted to order. My shift was almost over, so I didn't feel like taking his order, let alone have any conversation with him. Unfortunately, the guy wouldn't stop. No matter what I said to brush it off and get straight to the point, he kept asking about birthdays. I firmly kept reiterating no, but that wasn't the end of it. The guy then asked if anyone inside knew anybody else who was celebrating a birthday. I annoyingly told him I didn't know anybody else. That's when he asked me to go check with my coworkers and see. That was where I finally drew the line and told him I was not going to do that. Suddenly, the man shouted at me, demanding I do what he said. That's when I lost my shit and snapped at the guy, telling him to order or F off. Surprisingly, that worked. He backed down and apologized, though it didn't feel like a genuine apology. He ended up ordering some food and a soda, then he pulled up to the window in a pickup truck. By then, I had already made his drink. I opened the window and handed it to him, then opened my hand to ask him for payment. I hadn't even looked him in the eyes yet, as I was annoyed from the argument. But when I realized he wasn't putting anything in my hand, I looked up at him and saw the most disturbing face I had ever seen. The man looked like the creepiest weirdo ever. He looked like a zombie out of The Walking Dead. There was a huge smile plastered on his crusty face, but his eyes had a sinister look in them. He was the sort of person I would normally hesitate to even open the window for, had I been paying attention. What happened next was the most insane experience I have ever had at any job. Sir, can I see your card?
You don't need my card.
Well then, are you paying with cash?
No, you don't understand.
Sir, you have to pay or you won't be getting your food.
Don't worry, I have something for you. Just wait a second.
Hey, where are you going?
Just hold on, I'll be right there.
What the hell? Listen, I don't know what you're getting, but if it has to fit in the back of a truck, you can't buy a Baconator with it. What the hell is he doing?
Trust me, you're gonna love this. I know you said it wasn't your birthday, but I got a little present for you. There's an alligator trying to eat me! Somebody help!
You bastard! I'm gonna turn this alligator into Crocs and kick the shit out of you with it!
I was stranded on that counter for almost an hour, even after I called 911. The gator had it out for me. I knew if I dangled my foot for just a second, I wouldn't have it anymore. When they arrived, the cops didn't want to deal with the gator, so animal control was called in. They finally captured the gator and took it away, ending the ordeal. The cops used the security footage to track down the man who threw the gator and arrested him. He told them he was just playing a joke and thought it was hilarious, but nobody agreed with him for obvious reasons. I nearly had my face bitten off. In my nightmares ever since that night, I'm never lucky enough to get away from that alligator in time. This story was inspired by a terrifying incident regarding a 24-year-old man named Joshua James, who was arrested and charged with assault with a deadly weapon after he threw a 3.5-foot alligator through a Palm Beach County Wendy's drive-thru window. He's also charged with illegally possessing an alligator and petty theft. Jail records show he was released on $6,000 bail. He was ordered to have no contact with animals. A wildlife officer said in his report that James drove his pickup truck to the window at 1:20 a.m. on October 11th after an employee handed James his drink. That's when he threw the alligator through the window and drove off. No one was hurt. The wildlife officer captured the alligator and released it into the wild. James was later tracked down through video surveillance and a purchase at a neighboring convenience store. The culprit, James, later mentioned that he had found the alligator on the side of the road and put it into his truck, and then did what he did. James's mother, Linda James, told news outlets that her son's actions were just a stupid prank.
Attention Costco members, looking for more rewards? Then please proceed to subscribe to Horror Shorts Party. Have a pleasant shopping experience and a great day.
Can I help you find anything in particular, sir? Maybe. You see, I'm planning to propose to my girlfriend I met at a brothel. I guess I'm looking for a nice diamond ring and didn't even know Costco sold jewelry at all. Well, we actually have quite the selection. Would you like a recommendation? Anything to make her say yes. Oh, well, then you've come to the right place. We have a wide selection of carats and can cater to any size. Is there any chance you can make the ring big? My wife always has trouble getting the right fit.
Did you meet your wife at SeaWorld?
Excuse me? Ma'am, please be patient and wait your turn.
Hey, penny pincher! If you don't have the dough, then you're in the wrong line! Go get a ring pop from Dollar Tree! I'm sure your SeaWorld wife would enjoy eating the ring anyway!
Ma'am, please,
Just hurry it up! If I have to sit here all day waiting for you, my milk's gonna spoil like my saggy waist warmers. I won't be able to eat my frosted flakes if you don't make a decision in the next minute!
Ma'am, please calm down.
I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to Mr. Wedgie over here. You know I can see your whole crack. Why don't you turn around so I can see your baby carrot too? Perhaps you should shop at Costco more and not at Baby Gap.
Thank you for your help, but I think I'll shop somewhere with classier clientele. I am so sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
Why don't you apologize to me for the inconvenience?
I'm sorry? I apologize, ma'am. How can I help you?
That's more like it. How about you get on your knees and fetch me this ring over here?
Sure thing. Here you go.
It might be a little tight. The last time I seen a ring this tight was when my husband put a ring on his—
You don't need to share this, ma'am.
Just help me get the ring over my knuckle, Costco boy!
Okay. It's a little too tight.
That's what he said.
Ma'am, that's a little too much.
Slide it down my finger or I'm calling your boss.
I'm not sure this ring will fit. Why don't we try a bigger size?
Don't make comments about my weight, boy.
Fine.
Just get me another ring the size of your magic wand before you make my finger look more saggy, idiot!
Sure, ma'am.
You sure do look good down there. I could definitely get used to that.
Can we please keep this professional?
I don't know. Can we?
I definitely can. Here.
Don't start comping an attitude with me, boy. And this ring looks too big. This one's too small. That one's kind of dull, but ooh, yes. This one looks just perfect. Quickly, put it on for me, Daddy.
I'm not your daddy. And hurry up so I can vomit at break time.
Oh, so amazing. I love it. So does this mean we're engaged now?
What? Hell no.
Oh, come on, Costco boy. They say 80's the new 20. You know, my husband wouldn't even be able to put a ring this size on, right? It would just fall right off. He must have some kind of shrinking disease. So tell me, princess, is it going to fit?
Lady, please. I already have a girlfriend. Just get your ring and stop trying to pick up people at Costco.
Fine! You don't know what you're missing out on! I want a divorce! I think I decided I don't like this ring after you ruined it for me! Grab me one of those colorful rings behind you! Maybe I'm not a diamond girl after all!
You got it. Here, you... Wait a second. Where did that ring go?
What are you talking about? Are you blind? It's right here on my finger.
No, it's not. That's a completely different ring. I'm not stupid.
Yes, you are.
Don't play with me, lady. Give me the ring back or I'm calling the cops.
Why? I haven't done anything wrong.
Enough! Give it back now!
Hey, let go of me, you creep! I don't consent! You're no longer my husband!
Get back here!
Get away from me, boy! Somebody get my wheelchair!
Just give up!
This is the only time you'll ever get a girl face down underneath you!
Yeah, right! It'll be easy with this ring!
Hey, what are you doing with that? That's mine!
Hey, lady! Keep your hands where we can see them! You're under arrest!
My husband is the only one that has consent to arrest me! You will not get away from this punk!
Oh my god, babe! I'm so happy to see you!
What happened to you? Why are you so sweaty?
Don't worry about that. I have something important to ask you.
What?
Will you marry me?
Ew! No. In fact, I'm dumping you for even thinking about proposing to me in a Costco.
What? No! This story was inspired by an incident that happened at Costco in Nutley, New Jersey. Authorities say a 49-year-old woman named Isabel had stolen a diamond ring worth $2,000 and then swapped it out with another ring at that very Costco worth $28,000. The Costco staff then called police after realizing what had happened. Police were then able to track the woman at her home and arrest her. She has since been charged with theft.
I regret getting stuck working at Dairy Queen. I'm trapped on the minimum wage hamster wheel, working over 40 hours a week to barely pay rent, and still struggle with the rest of my bills. What makes me hate my job even more is the sloppy people I have to deal with most days. I honestly feel like more of a janitor than a fast food employee. It's no shock to anyone that the restrooms in a greasy ice cream joint aren't the nicest, but I swear, the ones I have to clean on an almost hourly basis are the nastiest dysentery incubators I've ever seen. Every time I turn my back on them, somebody has clogged the toilet or cut their hair in the sink, or just straight up crapped on the floor, and nobody else bothers to handle the mess but me. I'm there 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, watching my life wither away surrounded by ice cream and angry downtrodden people. We get everyone, the wackos, the whales, the hobos, the Karens, everybody. But out of everyone and everything I've had to put up with, there's one woman, one particularly horrible Karen, who pops into my mind whenever I think about work. She was this creepy older woman that had this trashy look about her, like she smoked 10 packs a day. She ended up being a regular, and I would always see her slink into the bathroom where she would stay for an hour or two every time she came in, which was every other day without fail. Initially, I didn't want to be judgmental, because she could have been taking the absolute biggest crap of her life, and this was the only bathroom she had access to. But after it went on for a couple of weeks, everyone who worked there caught on and got fed up with her hogging the bathroom all the time. That's when my manager kindly confronted her and said that if she wanted to keep using our bathroom, she would have to buy something. A few days later was a much different story. I was standing at the register waiting for customers, and that's when she walked in. I tried to greet her, but she clearly wasn't in the mood.
Good evening, ma'am. How can I help you today?
Hurry up with my ice cream, damn it! I need something to lick, and I ain't talking about my husband!
I'm sorry, ma'am. Will it be a small blizzard for you again?
You already know what I'm going to order, punk! Now! Make it quick, or else I'm gonna make my own ice cream with the dairy milk coming from my bacon strips!
As she usually did, she came up $1 short, which would end up coming out of my pocket. I didn't really care though, as $1 was worth a lot less to me than the trouble of bothering the Mega Karen about it. An hour or so passed, and the store was about to close for the night. That woman's ice cream had long since melted, but everybody knew who it belonged to, so nobody threw it away. My manager ordered me to clean the restrooms, which immediately filled me with dread, because I knew that she was still in there. I got to work anyway, thoroughly cleaning the men's room first in the hopes that this would give her enough time to finish up whatever in the world she was doing and get out. Unfortunately, the door to the women's room was still locked when it was time to go in and clean it. I knocked on the door, but there was no answer. I knocked again and yelled to the other side that the store was closing, but still nothing. My last resort was telling her that her ice cream was going to melt if she didn't go get it, but not even that resulted in a response. I forced myself to do the last thing I wanted to do, knowing that my rent depended on it. I unlocked the door, then held my breath and slowly opened it. Inside, I saw that Karen sprawled out on the floor, twitching and drooling, completely fried out of her mind on God knows what. As soon as I appeared in her line of sight, she crashed down back to earth and flipped out, jumping to her feet and screaming at me.
What the hell are you doing in here, you goddamn disgusting pervert?
Hey, calm down. The store's closing and I'm just trying to clean up.
Don't you dare lie to me, Mr. Peeping Tom. I know you wanted to catch me on the toilet while you listened for some ASMR sounds, didn't you?
Let me go!
Where's my order? I had a blizzard! What did you people do with it?
It's been right there waiting for you, lady.
What the hell is this crap?
What? What's wrong with it?
It's melted! Make me another blizzard before I call the cops and tell them you ripped me off! Ah!
What the hell is your problem, lady?
DQ! DQ! DQ sucks!
Hey, calm down. I have to clean that up.
Don't you play dumb with me. It's your job to clean up, Mr. Whipped Cream.
I only get minimum wage.
As you should. I'm sure you're used to going on your knees and licking things up.
Get the hell out of here or I'm calling the cops.
Screw you! I'm not going back to prison.
Get out now.
Fine, but not because you said so. You haven't seen the last of me.
Look at all this mess I have to clean up. Oh. This is all I have.
This story was inspired by an incident regarding a chaotic Dairy Queen Karen who threw a hissy fit because her ice cream she ordered melted as she was in the restroom. It was alleged that the woman was in there for approximately 20 minutes doing undisclosed substances. In the video, the Karen could be seen screaming profanities and causing a tirade. One can only imagine what her DQ order was.
Dear Josh, it has come to my attention that you have an employee by the name of Martha Perry who's been on payroll for 89 days. As I am sure you are aware, we're required to give benefits to all employees who have been employed for more than 90 days. This is an official reminder that regional management has enacted a policy to reduce costs by absolutely restricting any increase in the number of employees on payroll who receive benefits, as it is considerably cheaper to simply train new employees. Please act in accordance with regional policy. Sincerely, Ryan, Walmart Regional Manager.
No, not Martha. Oh, crap. You really want me to fire a sweet old lady like her? She doesn't deserve this. She's got a better work ethic than half of my employees. Maybe I tell her that she's too old? Her skin is getting more saggy and looser like the sleeve of a wizard's robe.
Okay, let's get this over with. Excuse me, coming through. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, just trying to pass through. Hey, Martha.
Oh, Josh, it's so good to see you. Do I have to come to the office for one of those promotion meetings again?
No, not now. I don't know how to tell you this, but
Am I getting a raise? Oh, I knew the day would eventually come after all the raises I've been giving you.
No, Martha, it's none of that. Unfortunately, I have to let you go.
What the hell did you just say? Do you mean you're letting me go?
Yes, as in I'm firing you.
What? No, you cannot fire me! I need this job! Please, I need a refill on my dentures! You have to understand, I don't have any retirement savings! If I can't pay my rent, I'll be out on the street!
Martha, I'm sorry, but you need to stay calm. There are plenty of other jobs out there.
Please, don't fire me! Please, no one will subscribe to an old lady's OnlyFans! I'll take a janitor position! Anything, please!
Get off me! I'm sorry, Martha. I promise I didn't want to do this, but it wasn't my decision. If I don't fire you, my boss will fire me.
That makes you nothing but a spineless coward! You littering dog shit!
Martha, don't do anything crazy, all right?
You can't tell me what to do after you fired me! Somebody help! Get this wrinkly glob off me!
Call the cops! She's crazy!
Hey there, ma'am. I need you to get down from there and exit the store, alright?
No, don't go near her!
Hey, put me down!
Everyone stay away! Let the cops handle this! Martha, please listen to me! I'm sorry!
This is all your fault! Now I have to drop resumes when I should be on vacation, sipping on mimosas!
Martha, stop! You're gonna hurt somebody!
I don't care! If you come any closer, I'll rip your throat out and shove it through your eye socket!
No, please don't! Step aside, sir. We'll take it from here. Ma'am, you need to calm down. Show us your hands and get on the ground.
Do you think I'm afraid of you? I eat punks like you for breakfast! That fool knows firsthand how my gums feel!
I'm so sorry, Martha. I didn't mean for this to happen. What have I done? This story was inspired by an incident regarding a North Carolina Walmart employee who was filmed flinging merchandise from the shelves as co-workers and shoppers looked on in horror. The incident occurred on December 6th at the Walmart Supercenter in Huntsville, when the worker, identified only by her name Carmen, began to move from aisle to aisle, knocking food and drinks to the floor. Footage posted to TikTok by 25-year-old Sky Jamal captured the chaos and racked up millions of views. In the first video, the camera panned over cans of cranberries oozing onto the floor. One aisle over, Carmen was hurling armfuls of merchandise to the ground. It was alleged that the woman had been fired shortly before the incident. Police arrived and escorted the woman out of the store. She was not charged with any crime. Despite the scant context, people flocked to social media to share their opinions. Former Walmart employees had plenty to say, with some justifying Carmen's actions. One of them wrote, "They fired me on my 89th day because benefits started on the 90th. Good. Destroy the whole thing and burn it too." Others commented saying her actions was not justified, as other co-workers would be the ones left to clean up the mess. I've been stuck working at Starbucks full-time for longer than I'd like to admit. Even worse, I used to work the morning shift every single day, which took an even greater toll on my mental health. I'd have to go in at the crack of dawn to immediately start taking orders and making drinks, when I barely had time to wake up after dragging myself out of bed. After a while, the striking regularity of the routines started to make everything feel unreal, like I was just a robot repeating the same tasks over and over again for the exact same set of people, day in and day out. Around where I live, most of the early morning heads were truckers or construction workers that all looked similar, especially the people that come in the drive-thru, which is where I was always stationed. Of course, there were a few exceptions. The one that always gave me the worst time was this specific cranky old Karen that would always come through and order multiple ridiculously complex drinks that each had just about every possible ingredient in them. As soon as I noticed her car pull up, I had to prepare myself to deal with her. But unfortunately, that wasn't the only thing odd about her. Every time I saw her, I would see these horribly creepy dolls in the passenger and back seats around her. They were strapped in and pointed to face me at the window like this crazy old lady thought they were real people. I always assumed she was bonkers and ordered most of the drinks for the dolls. She came here so often that I even started to memorize her orders. I knew exactly what she was going to say, but I also knew she was going to pretend to ask her family. For this reason, I always tried to get her through as quickly as possible, but due to her Karen nature, she would have to have it her way. Good morning. What can I get for you today?
Excuse me? What did you just say?
I said, what can I get for you today?
Don't rush me, nut hugger. Can't you see I'm in the middle of a discussion with my family?
My apologies. Please, take your time.
Thank you. Now, what does everyone want?
Oh my god, I can't believe this woman. Every day is like this. Doesn't she have plenty of time to think about what she's going to get while she's waiting? Ugh, you just gotta have all the attention you can possibly get, can't you? I hope you rot in hell, you old hag.
Hello? Anybody in there? I said I'm ready to order.
Oh, my apologies, ma'am. What's your order?
All right, little boy. I'll take a grande iced...
Well, would you look at that? I was right. You're getting the same exact thing you always get. And I can tell by the way your wrinkly, flabby old lips are flapping.
And 2 extra shots of espresso. Did you get all that? It seemed like you weren't paying attention.
Nope, I got all of it. Just give me a moment and I'll have it right out for you.
You better make it right this time, boy. Don't make me throw my dentures at you.
When do I ever make it wrong? I've been here dealing with you for years. You're just like all the other crazy people, a creature of habit. You'll never change until you drop dead. I guarantee it. Now, what was that other one again? Oh yeah. Here you go.
I can tell this is wrong. Are you deaf or were you just not listening to what I said?
Ma'am, I can assure you that every drink was made to order. Would you at least try them before you criticize the way I do my job?
Don't you dare give me an attitude, boy! I demand to see your manager right now!
That's how just about every day went with that woman. Despite the fact that she was clearly insane and I was doing everything she asked, nothing was ever good enough for her. There was always something wrong with the way I was doing things. One morning, I eventually reached my limit and simply had enough. The woman placed her order and I was just about ready to deliver her drinks. That's when I headed to the drive-thru window and said, "Here you go, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of your morning."
Excuse me, where is the rest?
Huh? Oh, you mean the other drinks you ordered. Well, our store policy has changed. We now only serve real human beings and refuse to fulfill orders for creepy dolls like the ones you think are your family.
What did you just say? Don't disrespect my family, you worthless minimum wage coffee guzzling caffeine rat! Come here!
Get off of me, you creep! Let me go or I'm calling the cops!
The cops can't save you if you're already dead!
I said back off! What the hell is wrong with you, lady?
No! It's what's wrong with you! Consider this a return! Ah!
After that incident, I ended up with partial second-degree burns on my face. I then had a chat with my manager and argued that I was justified because the woman was completely crazy and that she always had these creepy dolls in the car with her. However, the manager didn't believe me and decided to pull up the security footage to prove it. When he opened it up, I was in complete shock at what I saw. In the woman's car was a real family of actual living people on every single occasion she came to the Starbucks. This story was submitted by a viewer in which he alleged was true. The viewer claims that he really did hallucinate and see those dolls in the lady's car while working at Starbucks as a barista. One can only speculate that the hallucinations came from early morning fatigue, or potentially something that was laced in his coffee for that short period.
Mister, where's the turkey?
Huh? What do you mean?
Do I really have to repeat myself? I said, where's the turkey, damn it?
I don't know. You put it away.
No, I didn't. You did.
Yes, you did. It was last week when we came home from the store. Remember, I had to take a phone call for work, so you put all the groceries away?
Wah, I have to take a phone call for work. Is that your excuse for getting out of doing everything? I guess we won't have turkey on Thanksgiving.
Stop it before I use your Sephora allowance on the electricity bill.
Baby, please just run out and get a turkey.
What?
If you do, I'll give you that esophagus.
Oh boy, say no more.
In a world full of weak men and incompetent minimum wage workers, where self-entitled women have society by the balls, one man must fight back. They call him the Karen rank.
Ugh, commercials.
Come on down to the description and subscribe to Horror Shorts Party.
Forget it. Ugh, come on, really? Why is everybody and their mother out on the road? Don't you guys have families to be with right now? Ah! Oh, Jesus Christ, lady, are you trying to get yourself killed?
Get out of my way! No one is going to stop me from this Black Friday Thanksgiving sale!
Excuse me. Thank you. Excuse me. Sorry. My bad. Just gonna get past you. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello. Coming through. Hey. Hey, watch where you're going. Can't these people just get out of my way for 5 seconds? Finally. What? No. Damn it. Not after all this. Come on. There's gotta be one hiding in here somewhere. Come out, wherever you are. There. Hey, that was mine!
Nice try, jerk, but you've got to be quicker than that.
I am in bed, but anyway, give me that turkey, lady!
Hands off, you creep!
Screw you, dirty old tramp! No one wants to touch you! Just give me that turkey!
Who are you calling old?
You! Now let go before I break you in half, Miss Osteoporosis!
Oh yeah? Big, strong man gonna break an old lady's back!
That's not the first time I heard that!
Shut up, pal! I bet you don't have enough stuffing for this turkey!
Take that back!
I don't think so! Give me that turkey and go settle for KFC, you selfish brat!
Just let it go already!
Make me!
Alright, you asked for it!
Oh! You made my arthritis become worse!
Ha! That's what you get! See ya! Oh, crap!
Get back here!
Just leave me alone!
Sorry, gotta go. Everyone get out of my way! Whatever, sue me! What the hell?
I'll rip out your giblets, you son of a...
Someone get their grandma! Help! I can't even see where I'm going! Is that the light? It better be! Ha! Try coming back from that! Alright. Just gotta get home now. Hello? I'm on my way back.
Hey, so actually, I found the turkey in the freezer in the garage. I totally forgot we had that. Whoopsie.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, so no esophagus for you after all.
No!
This story was inspired by a viral clip on the internet of two Karens fighting over the last turkey in an undisclosed store during Thanksgiving. After one of the Karens takes control of the turkey, the other Karen hilariously grabs a hold of the other Karen's cart and tries running off with it. We figured we'd make an animation on the ordeal, showcasing how disturbing and nasty people can get on Black Friday sales during Thanksgiving festivities.
I was at home watching TV and mindlessly scrolling on my phone when I suddenly got the munchies. I was hungry as hell and didn't have anything to eat. But that's when I remembered the hype about Wendy's launching the new Krabby Patty. And there was a Wendy's not too far from my place. So I got dressed and started walking over to satisfy my craving. When I walked in, I was shocked by the sight of the freakiest, most gigantic woman I have ever seen working at the register. If Wendy's was serving Krabby Patties, this woman was Miss Puff after a boating accident. I'd never seen her there in all the times I went to that Wendy's before. Her skin was so wrinkly that it looked like there was grease flowing down the crevices of her face. She must have had a stroke after eating the entire stock of Krabby Patties and Baconators. Things only got worse as I walked up to her. The woman had these creepy, bulgy, lazy eyes that didn't even look at me, and her smile was completely crooked. She looked dead, like an old dementia patient that wandered off and got hit by a car. After staring at her uncomfortably for a few minutes, I told myself I was just freaked out because of my particular state of mind at the time, but I eventually placed my order.
Hi. I'd like a Krabby Patty meal, please.
Good choice. Do you know the secret formula?
I don't know. I just want something to eat.
I'm sure you're used to eating something with crabs. You want anything to drink with that?
Lady, just get me my Krabby Patty.
Wait here. We're a little short-staffed tonight, so I'll be with your Krabby Patty.
The short encounter with her seemed to drag on forever. A lot of things were off about her. I was just glad it was over. Once I paid and got my receipt, I found a seat nearby. Nobody else was in the restaurant even though it wasn't that late. For some reason, it took forever for my food to be ready. Maybe about 10 or 15 minutes of scrolling on my phone later, the nasty old lady finally came back to the counter with my tray. I quickly walked up and snatched it. I then sat down and went right for the Krabby Patty, undoing its container and taking a huge bite. About 3 seconds into chewing, a horrible pungent flavor spoiled the whole bite. I kept chewing for a second, thinking maybe it was supposed to be the tang of some kind of tartar sauce they were using. But it just got worse. It was like piss, battery acid, and snot all mixed together. Before I knew it, the rotten flavor triggered my gag reflex, and I vomited all over the table. I couldn't stop dry heaving and choking on bile. I collapsed out of the chair and crawled to the bathroom, where I fought for my life. Once I could finally walk again, I stormed out of the bathroom and slammed my fists on the counter, demanding to see the woman who served me when nobody was brave enough to answer me. I lost control and hopped over the counter. I searched everywhere for her, but all I could find was a sad, cowering fry cook and an innocent-looking girl at the drive-thru. Neither of them seemed like the type to lace my food, and the fry cook even told me where the woman was hiding. She locked herself in the office, so I ran to the door and started trying to beat it down.
What did you do to my food, you nasty bitch? Come out here, you Mrs. Punk lookalike. I'm gonna cave your skull in.
I eventually accepted the fact that I wouldn't be able to reach her, which was unfortunate, because in that moment, all I wanted to do was drag her by the hair and shove her head into the toilet I had just puked my soul into. Instead, I took a moment to calm down, then I called the police. I didn't know exactly what she had put in my food, so I claimed she had poisoned me. They arrested her, and in her questioning, she was apparently proud to admit what she had put in not just my food, but in many other people's food. She was substituting the sauce on the Krabby Patties with the putrid, diseased discharge and juices from her worn-out stinky well downstairs. To think the toxic fluids of that disgusting woman's crotch were in my mouth, that I chewed on it and absorbed it to any degree. It makes me sick to this day. Now I know why it took my food so long to come out, because she took it to the bathroom and spent 10 minutes extracting unhealthy amounts of discharge from herself, by only God knows how, and smeared it all over my Krabby Patty. Unfortunately, there wasn't much punishment for her crime. She was fired from Wendy's and slapped with a fine of a few $1,000s. I wish she would rot in jail for what she did to me, and all the other undeserving people who just wanted a nice burger. She's a sick, perverted, heaping waste of flesh, and I hope karma takes care of her. I just hope nobody ever has to take that secret formula I had that night. This story was inspired by an alleged incident regarding a former Wendy's employee named Lakeisha Hunter, who was arrested for contaminating a customer's hamburger with her bodily fluids. The repulsive incident allegedly took place in August of 2005 at a Wendy's fast food restaurant. It was rumored that Hunter was arrested and led away in handcuffs after arguing with customer Lachey Jones over their child's father not coming to see her baby. Hunter then went to the back of the restaurant and used her quote-unquote discharge in place of mayonnaise on Lachey's Bacon Cheeseburger Deluxe. The two women who share the same father have been at each other's throats for a while. Lachey claims that she had the guy first and that Hunter ruined her family.
I was a lifeguard at a water park called Wild Waves for several years, but I was recently fired for a tragic accident. For the most part, the job was boring. I spent the majority of my time there watching over one of the pools where people would land at the end of the slide, one of the ones where they went down on a tube. I had my fair share of time where I had to save people, but it was fairly uncommon because most people who go to a water park know how to swim, or they wear life jackets if they can. There were also two other lifeguards in the area. One day, on a particularly slow afternoon, I was sitting in the tower watching cute girls go by and looking out for drowners, when all of a sudden I saw something I wasn't used to seeing. There was a morbidly obese man slowly making his way up the stairs of the water slide. I could see him struggling with every step. He stopped after every single one to catch his breath for about a minute.
Why isn't there a damn elevator for the slide?
It was quite the show, even though it was a bit sad to see somebody so far gone. On top of that, the more likely it seemed that he would make it to the top, the more concerned I got. If he actually managed to climb all those steps, the attendants were most likely going to tell him to go back down because he was too fat to ride the slide. I could only imagine the entitled rage they would have to deal with in that situation, so I knew they might let him pass just to avoid it. In that case, if he was even able to reach over his planetary waistline and hold on to it too, he would have to fit inside the slide. I seriously doubted he would be able to, but I knew he would try anyway. If by some miracle he managed to get in and didn't get stuck on the way down, the resulting splash would be like a tsunami. It took the man over an hour to reach the top, which was honestly an achievement in itself. I couldn't hear exactly what they were saying, but I was watching closely, admittedly not paying very much attention to the pool. I spoke with the attendants afterwards and they told me what happened. Sir, your waistline exceeds the circumference of the slide. I can't let you in.
That's ridiculous. This is the one thing I came here to do. It took me too damn long to climb those stairs for you people to tell me no. You better push me into that slide because it's the only way I'm going down. Unless it's on your mother.
He threatened to sit at the entrance of the slide and block it for everyone. Knowing the two of them would never be able to drag him away on their own, they gave up. The first tube they gave him popped. They had to partially deflate the next donut so the pressure from him sitting on it wouldn't be too much. But I bet to a man like that it was more like sitting on a Cheerio. Watching it all go down, I started to worry if the slide could even support his weight, or if maybe it would collapse. I heard him screaming at the attendants to help him get through. They pushed as hard as they could, but he wasn't moving. Then, one of them had the bright idea to use sunscreen as a lube. They used the entire bottle, but it was finally enough after a handful of irritated guests in line behind helped them push. It was a nail-biting few seconds, hoping he didn't get stuck, but somehow he made it.
Ah! I haven't moved this fast since high school gym class!
As I expected, the splash was enormous. Everyone was in shock and awe. Unfortunately, when the initial tidal wave subsided, something had become painfully obvious. The man had sunk like a gigantic stone. I blew my whistle to evacuate the pool. Then I climbed down the tower and jumped in to save him. He was all the way at the bottom of the deep end. My puny little flotation device wasn't nearly enough to lift him up. I tried everything I could to get him to the surface, pulling him up, lifting him up from underneath, but there was no chance I could lift him. I had to come up for breath. I shouted for help from the other lifeguards, but when they came over, they didn't believe me.
Help me! This guy's like 1,000 pounds! I can't lift him up!
But he's underwater. Shouldn't he be lighter?
Are you kidding? Look at him! Just get in here and help me!
After wasting precious seconds arguing with me, they finally got in. With the help of 2 other lifeguards, we managed to slowly drag him back up. Tragically, by then, I could already see that the life had drained from his eyes. It took us a few more minutes to finally heave him up and out of the pool, but he wasn't breathing. I tried to perform CPR, but I couldn't do any effective compressions on him through the thick layer of fat on his chest. We couldn't even find the spots to attach the electrodes of the defibrillator among all the flaps and folds of his skin. By the time the paramedics finally arrived, all they could do was confirm that it was too late. It's been months since that day. We all got fired, and the park was temporarily shut down. The owners of the park and all the employees who were present are being sued by the family. I don't disagree that there were several mistakes made that day. However, I don't believe I was part of the problem. He should never have even been allowed in the park, let alone to ride the slide. Maybe if my coworkers hadn't bickered with me instead of helping immediately, we could have saved him. I already feel bad enough that he died on my watch, but now I have to deal with being sued for the pennies left in my bank account after losing my job. I don't need that happening to me. What I need is therapy. The story was inspired by a disturbing incident regarding a 33-year-old man who drowned at a water park in Washington State, raising questions about the competence of the lifeguards employed there. The tragedy occurred at Wild Waves, a theme park located a few miles northeast of Tacoma. The water park pool where the drowning occurred was closed to visitors on Sunday. The man was rumored to be near 6 feet tall and was described to have a heavy-set build. He was last seen alive in one of the activity pools. Witnesses say lifeguards in the scene were slow to react when it was apparent that the man was underwater and in danger. The lifeguards were said to have been combative, indecisive, and arguing amongst themselves about what to do next, wasting precious minutes as the man's life hung in the balance. When first responders tried to resuscitate the man, it was too late. The identity of the victim has not been released for publication. I've been a flight attendant for several years now. My main route is between LA and Taipei, Taiwan. I occasionally get to go to other locations, but almost all my work is done between those 2 cities. I'm the chief stewardess and spend most of my time in business class. The passengers are usually nice and don't cause problems, but there are exceptions. The flight between LA and Taiwan is over 15 hours long, which is like spending an entire day in the air, so I do my best to accommodate the passengers to help them be more comfortable. Most requests are perfectly reasonable, but one passenger made a request that I never thought I would hear. One evening, my colleagues and I were setting up the cabin for boarding before a late-night departure out of LA. As usual, those with disabilities are allowed to board first. There was only one movement-impaired passenger in the business class section that night. He rolled down the gangway on a mobility scooter but was forced to leave it behind. The moment he stepped through the door, the entire place smelled like feces. I turned my head to see the source of the odor, and saw the most disgusting excuse for a human being I've ever seen. He was over 400 pounds and could barely walk. He squeezed himself down the aisle and held onto the seats for support until he finally sat down. He snapped his fingers and ordered me to get his carry-on and stow it for him. I unfortunately had to accommodate him. As I lifted the bag into the overhead bin, I saw him eyeing me up and down. I knew none of my colleagues were safe. The entire flight crew, apart from the pilots, were female, and it was clear he hadn't had any positive relationship with a woman in many years.
I'd love to stay in the hotel with you during my layover. I've got yellow fever, and waiting to blow my savings in Thailand is gonna take too long. And that's not the only thing I'm gonna blow either. You know what a ladyboy is? Or a ping pong show? You're really missing out if you don't.
Sir, please stop it.
All my colleagues had similar interactions with him. After 2 agonizing hours, we caught a break as we dimmed the lights for the night. But about an hour into the flight, that creep got up to use the bathroom, but I did not expect him to start yelling for help.
Help! Somebody get in here and help me! Hurry!
Sir, what's the problem?
Get in here and wipe my ass!
What? Sir, that's not happening.
Yes, it is! I can't do it myself!
You got 2 hands. Now leave me the hell alone.
Hey, bitch! Do you have any idea how much I paid for my ticket? This is business class! Now, you're gonna take care of my business, or I'm gonna spread my cheeks and wipe it all over the floor. Is that what you want? You wanna get sprayed with my bad dye shit bricks?
All right, I'll do it. Just let me go.
That's what I thought, you lazy bimbo.
I didn't want to do it, but I felt like I had to. We were over the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We had nowhere to land to kick him out, which gave him plenty of time to escalate the situation. As the chief stewardess, I couldn't force my colleagues to do it, so I prepared as best as I could. I put on 3 pairs of latex gloves, then I headed to the lavatory.
There she is. Come on over here, baby. Don't be shy.
Please, just be quiet.
Oh, yeah. That's it, right there, baby. Get that sticky crumb out of there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. There. I did it.
Not quite. You missed a spot. You gotta get deep into that crack and get all of it out.
What?
Stop wasting time or it's gonna get crusty. I'll spread my cheeks to make it easier for you since you don't know how to wipe an ass.
You should really shower more.
Stop criticizing me and get me clean for the lady boys.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Oh yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Did you just puke on me, you stupid nasty hoe?
I'm sorry.
Come here and clean that up. Hey, get off me! Don't touch me! This is assault!
That sick, disgusting creep locked himself in the lavatory for several minutes, eventually returning to his seat. He remained under close supervision for the rest of the flight. On the other hand, I spent most of the rest of the flight crying in another lavatory, desperately trying to get clean. The first thing I did when we landed was take a long, hot shower. The creep was blacklisted from the airline. He ended up making it to Thailand, where I presumed he found another flight back home. However, months later, I learned that he died of unknown causes. I celebrated happily, but I'm no less traumatized by what he did. The story was inspired by a disturbing incident regarding an obese American tourist who made headlines when he forced an air hostess to wipe his butt. On an LA to Taipei EVA air flight, the man left several stewardesses traumatized when he demanded they help him in the lavatory by insisting they help him remove his pants and wipe his butt. After repeated attempts to inform the man that he was blacklisted from flying on the airline in the future, a lawyer informed Taiwan's EVA Air that he was dead. According to Taiwan News, the lawyer said the man died sometime in March due to an unspecified illness while on a lengthy beach holiday in Thailand. The man had been booked on another EVA Air flight from Taipei to San Francisco, and the airline spent 3 months trying to reach him to tell him it wouldn't be taking him. At a press conference, a teary-eyed EVA Air flight attendant described how she was left mentally traumatized after the man, who claimed to have had recent surgery on his hand, asked them to pull down his pants so he could use the bathroom. In an Instagram post after the disgusting episode, The flight attendant said she locked herself inside the bathroom, crying and vomiting, unable to wash away the stench of the man's crap. The accused man, who was confined to a wheelchair and was estimated to weigh 440 pounds, reportedly threatened to relieve himself on the floor unless the all-female cabin crew helped him. It was mentioned in a shocking revelation that the man allegedly moaned as he was being wiped. The airline will reportedly refund the man's family for his unused airfare.